right, this is Mike Matusevich from the Morphin Network here at the Pasadena Convention Center for the one, the only Power Morphicon 2022. And with me, I have a martial arts legend, key symbol, the Panther, Erick Betts.
What's up, brother? What's going on, you guys? Thank you for having me, man.
I love to, after all, WMAC Masters is one of my most favorite shows of all time. So, how are you enjoying the convention so far?
You know what? It's been incredible. I've been to a few Power Morphicons since they began, and I've been out of it for about, I don't know, maybe 6 years. But this was an amazing turnout. This is a very special turnout, being that it's Power Ranger Day, and I was excited about the weekend, so it's been great, man.
Yeah, I think you were in my first Morphicon 2010. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you don't age.
Neither do you.
You don't age.
Okay, well, 2010, yeah. It's been 12 years. So for the first question, you did do the stunt work for the Green Ranger, the Red Ranger, and one of the Puddies. So what was the process for you to prepare for all these fight sequences, like from the choreography practice all the way to filming the actual choreography on the show?
It was a lot, man. We actually, first of all, you got to train and practice like a professional athlete. You have to make sure the cast is ready, that they're warmed up and stretched and ready to go. Breaking it up into small segments so that no one's overwhelmed on choreography. Teaching the cast and making sure you maintain yourself at a proper distance so no one's getting hurt or hit or punched. You've got David Yost, you've got Kimberly or Amy Jo. Both of them are collegiate level gymnasts. We have Austin St. John, we've got Jason David Frang, again, amazing level martial artists in their own right by all day long, and anybody's right. And then, of course, the unicorn of them all, Walter Jones, man, his dancing, his hip-hop keto, acrobatics. I mean, Walter can do it all. Sing, dance, whatever. But then you have my favorite, Thuy Trang. Thuy, I mean, honest to God, you have to understand, Thuy came to this group as a blank slate, man. Like, she had to suddenly keep up with collegiate level gymnasts and Olympic level martial artists and a talent extraordinaire Broadway guy. I mean, what an amazing amount of pressure to learn choreography, to work with stunt people who are already established. I mean, the expectation, and she killed it. They all did, but for me, Thuy will always be my favorite.
Nice. Now, you mentioned that there are some fun behind-the-scenes moments that you remember while playing one of the Puddies. Want to go into that?
Yeah, absolutely. Ed Neal, I'm sorry, man, but you know I love you, Ed. It's just, it is such a memorable, he burned a memory into my heart. So, Isaac Florentine, very intense man, very amazing martial artist, and again, on his own right, an incredible martial artist. But Isaac set up a fight and a stunt that needed to be done, and Isaac says, Ed, the pad is still in the shot. Ed, I need the pad to be moved. I need you to move the pad, Ed. And Ed goes, no problem, Isaac, move it wherever you need it. And I look at Ed and I go, Ed, that's kind of far, man. Wesley Snipes had a movie with Woody Harrelson called White Men Don't Jump, bro. I mean,
episode of Baywatch, lifeguards can't jump.
Oh yeah, there you go. And I'm like, are you sure you can make it? I mean, bro. And he's like, I got this. And I'm like, hey, okay. 3, 2, 1, action. Ed does a flip. He goes through the air. He hits the ground. His head hits the pad. The rest of his body thuds really loud on the ground. I'm supposed to go by like a putty and just go right passing by. I can't move. And I look down at Ed and I go, are you okay? And Ed goes, and I mean, it was not, it sounded crazy. It looked crazy. And so, those are some of the stories of what it was like. The Puddies were absolutely a family. The early morning, we're in spandex. You're freezing your butt off. Midday at Kenneth Hahn Park, you're baking in a what feels like a scuba suit and a giant condom. I mean, and then by the end of the day, we're all smelling like freaking, you can't even imagine what. It was awesome, man. It was honestly got awesome.
Yeah. No, I appreciate all the work you guys did because you guys made the Rangers look amazing at the cost of your own bodies. You know, like it was like I appreciate the sacrifices you guys made.
And you know what, man? To go along with what you just said, that's why, to me, Power Morphicon is already a huge tribute for the blood, sweat, and tears we put into it. But Power Ranger Day, there are no words. Like, there are no words. When I tell you Pudgy Pig,
My favorite monster.
this for me is an Academy Award.
Yeah.
That costume was about 4.5 to 5 inches thick at Vasquez Rock, at Kennethon Park. It was already hot for a 70-degree day, let alone a 90 to 100.
Yeah. Okay, well, Power Rangers is my favorite Saturday morning show, but there's also a Saturday afternoon show I was a huge fan of that you were in.
What could that be?
And that show is referred to as the World Martial Arts Council, also known as the WMAC Masters. Key symbol, Panther.
That was actually really good, man. You sound like the voiceover guy. Yeah, WMAC Masters, man, what an honor. Like, what an honor. It was almost like for those of you that don't know the show, a lot of the stunt people from Power Rangers got to take off the mask and be finally seen for what they're doing. And so WMAC Masters had the same toy line company as Power Rangers, which was Bandai. And think of it as a live-action video game. For those of you guys that have ever played Tekken and Mortal Kombat, it was a live-action video game where you get to compete with each other, and you get to see what's happening behind the scenes when we go into the inner sanctum. And it was, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was a quirky show. None of the people there were actors; they were legitimate martial artists, all but one. And so I had a lot to learn. I mean, first of all, for me, it was an extreme honor to work with all of them, because all of them are incredible martial artists, from the highest ranking to the lowest. I mean, I guess the lowest would be me. So yeah, what an amazing experience. And again, Isaac Florentine, who directed a lot of the episodes in Power Rangers, moved over to WMAC Masters. And so the choreography that we did and stuff like that was all similar in that direction.
Yeah, it was amazing, like seeing people like Chris Casamessa as the Red Dragon, because you had the Red Dragon Dojo. You got Mike Chat, who eventually became the Blue Ranger in season 8, and he was the Wizard. And of course, you got Tsunami, your arch nemesis, and he has the key symbol Tsunami because he studied Jeet Kune Do. So your key symbol is a panther. So can you take us a little bit behind why that's your key symbol?
Well, it's interesting. Norman Grossfeld, one of the producers of the show, asked me, give me some ideas of what you have and what you want to bring to the show. And back when I was in 6th grade, my friends used to call me Panther. And so I thought that would be a cool idea to just bring Panther in. And so I came up with a costume idea and presented it to the guys. And they were like, Eric, well, it's a little too close to the Black Panther with T'Challa. Why don't we pass your designs over to our guys and see what they come up with? And they came up with what we all know Panther to be now, which is the black pants, a giant, claw on the chest, and the yellow and white belt and black belt.
Yeah. Well, in any case, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Disney, if you're watching this, get this man vibranium claws. Okay, I just had to do that because I just had to do that because like when I think Panther, like I'm thinking about you, but I also think about the claws from Black Panther, the superheroes.
A lot of people who watch WMAC Masters, they're referring to me as the OG Panther versus Black Panther versus
And it's crazy.
Panther.
It's crazy because the Black Panther comics came out in like the late '80s, so it's like Yeah. So, what were some of your favorite fight sequences in the WMAC Masters?
There were quite a few, but when you show up, I love Yin Yang Man. Rest his soul, Richard Brandon, absolutely incredible. Rich and I got to do some martial arts in Boston, Massachusetts, with Sensei Yao Li at Walloon Academy in Boston, across from the old Boston Gardens, and so I've known some of these guys from other places. Hakeem the Machine and I did a movie called Shoot Fighter in 1992. So the fact that Hakeem and I got to fight was extremely nostalgic to my heart. But oddly enough, man, and Michael Bernardo, just for the record, was in Shoot Fighter as well as Red Dragon, Chris Casamassa. All right, I'm going to stop right there. But I will tell you this. Watching Herb Perez fighting Mike Bernardo, that was intense, man. Like, I just, you know, Herb Perez as a 1992 gold medalist for Taekwondo, I learned so much from him about martial arts and so much about telegraphing and not telegraphing. And Michael Bernardo is a beast, man. And so you put the two together. What is it? An unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. And what's going to happen? And it's that fight. So, you know, it was awesome. It was cool.
I wish the show would just come back on DVD, you know, for the 2 seasons. And I hope it happens sooner rather than later, because as we discussed a few days ago, for many years we've needed a 3rd season. So let's say that we got the rights to the show. You got to help produce and write it. What are some of the directions you would go with for a 3rd season?
Oh, man, who are you that you were coming up with something hot? These are great questions. So I had a concept that I pitched to the producers already. So I have this answer. I'm ready to go, man. So here's the thing.
Listen up, producers.
I didn't know at the time. Erick Betts actually pitched the first reality TV show using WMAC Masters. I kept saying to the guys, first of all, I hated the title. There was a working title also called Quest for the Dragon Star. I felt that really had a stronger pitch. But beyond that, you know, Jean-Claude Van Damme was doing, you know, kumites and so on and so forth, and blood sports and kickboxers. And so I was trying to say, guys, wouldn't it be cool if, especially when we're in the inner sanctum, if you give us a subject to talk about, give us a sentence, and just let us be. None of us are actors. We're martial artists. We're stunts. Let us just do what we're doing here right now. It will feel so great. And if you don't like where it's going, tell us to pause. You'll interject some new direction and then go, and we'll go with it and transition to the next spot. And you guys would have loved it. Reality TV, that's where it should have gone. And it would have felt so much better. I think it would have been so much stronger. I do believe that WMAC Masters right now would be a pretty strong concept. And so, you know, a lot of 80s trends, music-wise or otherwise, is coming back. So, you know, we're not 80s, but I hope that they consider bringing something back, a reboot of a sort.
Well, in any case, I can't wait to see it if it ever gets made. And hopefully, you know, if things go the right way, I will make sure it happens. Like, even if it's just like a fan-made, like, inspired TV show where it's like, oh, it's a thing I'm doing on YouTube, which a lot of people are nowadays. So, yeah.
It's true. You know, and I don't know if you guys know, but make sure you check out on Amazon, Christopher Landis, one of the fans of the show, actually just wrote an almost 400-page book where he gathered all the stories most recently within the last year from all the masters that will, for all you fan favorites, will be able to come back and look and see what's going on in their world and life, what took on, you know, place behind the scenes, issues we may have had with each other, you know, all sorts of interesting stuff. So the book is awesome. Take a look at it. It's an incredible story. I've read it. You're gonna love it.
All right. Well, I appreciate the incredibly exhilarating conversation. I could go on for hours in this conversation, but we have to wrap things up. Where can the fans find you?
Guys, go on Erick Betts Media on Instagram, on Twitter. Look me up there. You'll be able to find everything on me on there. I'll be also all over the place, man. You'll find me on Facebook. I'll be everywhere.
All right, and of course, this is Mike Matusevich, key symbol to be determined, and and Erick Betts, key symbol Panther. Have a wonderful, more phenomenal day here at Morphicon, and this is Morphin Network signing out. Peace.
Happy Power Ranger Day, guys.